Sound to bar.
Ghosty.
Then I sent the message out telling all the fiends that
Trying to make rent, I was never home. Digital skills and a second phone. Blue cheese plants on my cheddar grow. Moved a little snow, that ain't nothing but the weather code. Hot-headed, but you better know I lead my team to the win like Keane into rim with that header though. I raised broke, so I really need some better goals. Instead of just dreams to share sheets with centerfolds. Still have nightmares of letting metal blow. Got a couple brothers on the wing in that Beckham roll. Guess I turned an L to a lesson, bro. Cause I lost a lot of brothers that are looking on from heaven. So I'm lucky pouring liquor as I live another episode. Lungs looking like my liver lately. But I'm in love with this loud that I'm getting though. I set pace, listen out for the metronome.
Yes, people, welcome back to Gav Goes In, Uncensored, United Uncensored. And listen, Champions League draw, obviously we'll get into that towards the end. Obviously, we've got a couple of things to discuss. But other than that, Fitz, how you been, bro? You all good?
Yeah, man, not too bad. Just struggling with this rain in the doobie den. I don't know how it's going to sound over there, but yeah, man, it's dying down now. Summer's
Cool,
done in
man.
Manchester.
Say again?
Summer must be done in Manchester now.
Bro, listen, summer was done pretty much start of the week, I'd say. You know, when I see the weather, man, I was thinking, yeah, man, we're in dark times now, man. But yeah, listen, I think summer's been good, but yeah, it's well and truly over now, man. I must say, I think we might get the odd couple of days, but I think from now, man, it's just gonna be, horrible, innit? I suppose. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm all good, man. All good. Obviously, I seen the draw today. Obviously, we got a couple of things to get into, and big up to everyone as well coming through, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, and make sure you give us your questions and comments as well. Big up to Lumi Rain. Big up to the 06 Rooney. I'm trying to think who this was again. I swear he changed his name. I forgot his name. It'll come back to me. But big up yourself, anyone, man. Anyway. Big up to Babs One Diva each and every time as well. Big up. And yeah, guys, listen, man. Where do we start? Because I have to say, the Carlos Baleba signing for me, Black Mojo, that's the one. Big up to Mojo. Big up yourself, man. That's the one. The Carlos Baleba signing obviously officially confirmed. And for me, it's a signing that, for me, I think it spells a lot of positive things for United's future, and mainly because of the profile of player that he is, mainly because as well that he's left-footed, because the very fact that United have decided to go for a player that is left-footed, I didn't really see happening, but it's showing to me that United are onto something, especially Ineos. And even though, people might say the price for Baleba might be a bit too much, but in terms of what he's going to offer and his age, the fact that we've secured the signing, I think they're saying that he should be back middle of middle of September? He might be, or beginning. I think he might be back for the Man City game. Fitz, what do you think Camavinga? What do you think Baleba will bring to this Manchester United team, and where do you see him slotting in?
To be fair, I feel like he initially wasn't intended on being like the main addition to the midfield, but I feel like because the main addition didn't happen, which clearly was going to be the Camavinga fit.
Yeah, I want to get onto that in a bit as well afterwards, because I've got some. So
I feel like Baleba now is going to be given that kind of role, or that kind of minutes essentially in it. So for me, it all kind of depends on on who's gonna get paired with him because I can just see this being almost at a detriment to
Yeah. The thing is, do
Car-
you? I think you're frozen, bro. You're gone, bro.
No, I'm
Go on.
here, bro.
You're back. Yeah, you're back. You're back. You're gone.
Yeah. No, go on. You were saying something?
No, I was gonna say, you would have to believe for that money that he's been signed for, he's definitely gonna be a starter. But how do you think Carrick fits it all together? Do you think he definitely goes to a free, regardless of the other players that we have?
Well, I feel like Carrick's essentially like he classes it as a three, but Bruno plays that far forward that is actually part of like a front four.
Yeah.
But like essentially we already do. Like he's meant to be the 10, but he just plays too far forward, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's probably gonna lean heavier towards like a midfield three of probably a Santos, Bruno, and Baleba, and bring in like Tielemans on and Kobe more like rotation players or off the bench type thing. But that's not what I
So
wanted
what you
to
think?
see.
So you think when everyone's fit, he's gonna go with Baleba and Santos?
Yeah, because Santos is like solely defensive minded. You know what I mean? Baleba, he does like to get fought, like go for it. And to be fair, he's strong, powerful. Like he can
Yeah.
play a good pass. Like I can see him essentially playing the Kobe role in it. That's what I'm saying. Like I think it's gonna be at the detriment of Kobe Mainu this because obviously, like as much as Carrick likes him, you cannot spend like the biggest money you've spent on a player this window and not starting. You know what I mean? You can't tell us that
Yeah.
you bought in three midfielders and none of them are starters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I feel like Santos, essentially, we've gone for youth instead of the experience, but that's essentially Casemiro's replacement there, and Baleba is essentially squad depth, so that now Mainu's the backup, which I'm not. Like I say, I'm not too confident with, but that again, I'm going off a manager that I've not got a great fucking deal of history to go off. We've discussed it before. We don't even think Carrick knows his best 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know for a fact the starting 11 that I'd start would not be the same starting 11 that Carrick's been starting. So it's hard to predict where he's going to go with it and who he's going to show preference to. But for me, I just I don't feel I feel like the level was here we go again. I think the level was a fucking a backup to the first option. Yeah, bro, you might as well see if I'm gonna mute this. I can already hear this is gonna be over.
Is it coming down? Yeah. Is it coming down? Yeah, guys, Fitz just muted because obviously the rain's just coming down a bit mad where he is, isn't it? So yeah, let me just reiterate on what he said. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I look at it like this: Baleba being brought in for what 70 million, 5-year contract plus one. You would assume, and the fact that he's left-footed as well, I think people are sleeping on the fact that him being left-footed is essential for him to be in the lineup. So I actually think that Baleba, out of all these central midfielders that we have that are going to play slightly deeper, he is the one when he's fit that is different to what we've kind of got anyway. And I think just based on how much he cost, he's definitely going to start for me. But something's telling me, yeah, that Kobe Manu also will start because I don't believe for 1 second that Carrick's going to come in. I think other than probably Bruno, I believe when Carrick come to the club, I think Kobe might have been the one that played the most other than Bruno. So Carrick obviously rates Carrick obviously rates Kobe Minu, so for me, I just think it's a case of Kobe, the midfield in a sense should be built around Kobe. It should be, because Kobe's obviously the academy products, and he signed a new contract as well, which people need to remember. So just in terms of his development, I can't see him spending time on the bench, But the beauty of it is that we've got a lot of competitions that we're in. But if you're bringing in Baleba as well, remember there was talk about Baleba partnering Kobe Minu. And then you've got Santos and Tillemans there as well. And obviously you've got Bruno as well. I think we have to say, for me, even though, yes, Santos is probably the only one that can play that 6 role, you'd have to look at it and say, well, how does Santos figure into it? And this is why we have to be going to a free in midfield, just so if you want to play that slightly more withdrawn midfielder like Santos, that's only going to work for me consistently if we play a free, because I don't think we're going to see either Baleba or Kobe Minu on the bench consistently, especially, as I said, if you're looking at Kobe obviously being the academy graduate, and being the one player you would say that the club would love to build around. And then you've got, as I say, Baleba that costs 70 million. So I think in that sense, I think definitely Kobe does start. I'll be very surprised if Kobe spends time on the bench. So this is why I think it's interesting that Baleba has been signed, to see how we all fits it together. You know what I mean? And it's going to give Carrick a headache. Even Bruno Fernandes, like, if he does stay, which, my thoughts on him, hopefully going in the last week of the window. If he does stay, I can even see him getting moved out wide into one of the wing positions, probably on the right-hand side, if it means playing the midfield free. And this is why the Baleba signing for me is even better, because it kind of leans onto that, that you can't just keep playing that same midfield that contains Bruno Fernandes, because you're going to have and I've not even mentioned Yuri Tillemans either. Yuri Tillemans, for me, you'd almost say Yuri Tillemans has to start as well, because Yuri Tillemans has come from Aston Villa, who were also in the Champions League, and he was a regular starter. There's no part of me thinks that Yuri Tillemans is coming to Manchester United and he's going to accept being on the bench for any long period of time. So I don't know how Carrick will fit all this together,
I don't know, because obviously that initial post he got a bit of heat for, when he said about, obviously, when like certain like clubs come in, like when bigger. I think the wording was when a club as big as Manchester United comes in for you, innit?
Yeah.
And I think that, again, this is probably a massive part of why they're looking for these man that come out and say, I was a United fan from a kid. I've always wanted to play at United. Because if you've always wanted to play at United, like me, bro, I'd be third choice keeper happily. You know what I'm saying? Don't even have to pay me. Just let me come to training. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me let me just put on the shirt. I'm good. Obviously, fucking hell, these men that are coming, they could be starters in smaller clubs, but when they come to United and they've been lifelong United fans, or they've always, when he was a kid, they dreamt of playing in Old Trafford. Well, shit, now you will be a bit more inclined to sit on a bench. Like Cunha, look at Cunha, the way he's been treated, bro. He's taking it on the chin. I can imagine that it would be frustrating, but like, bro, anytime he steps on the pitch, you can't fault him for his lack of effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's constantly at it, no matter whether he's given a quick 5 minutes at the end of the game or what. Like, my man hits the ground, wants the ball, wants to do something. He's not deterred by the fact that he's constantly changing position, never playing in his natural position. You know what I mean? He just gets on with his job. And I think that's a big part of like the profile of players that they're bringing in now. Tielemans has come out and said about fucking always wanted to play at United. Baleva's said it. Fucking all these man, and Boomo, all these man last season said it. So it's like, well, there's a running theme there. You know what I mean? And we'd be ignorant to not look at that theme of, well, what, like, it's all well and good saying you just want players that only ever wanted to play for your club, but you really fucking, like, you taking an ocean and just saying, like, I'm not gonna go in that. We're only looking at this one paddling pool. You know what I mean? Because as big as the club has been and still is, like globally, like realistically, there's not gonna be. I know if I was a professional that had real ambition, as much as I've, especially if I'm not a Mancunian, if I've always dreamt growing up in fucking in Brazil, like yeah, it'd be sick to play under Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford, and them days are gone. If I'm looking at the Premier League now, I'm probably not looking at United like that. I'm
Yeah,
waiting at least a few more windows to see what happens because there's a lot of deadwood that needs fucking replacing, and you know what I mean. If you've got serious ambition about shit, unless you've got that idea of I want to be the catalyst that turns it around, but now you're trying to be Cantona, you get me? Like that's not a
yeah.
clever idea, cause there's not many men like that can do that. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
uh, yeah, for me, I don't know. I think these men would all be quite content to be in rotation, knowing full well that there's only realistically like two names that are guaranteed on the team sheet every week. One being
Mm.
Bruno, one being Laments. Everyone else is rotation and fucking prove your worth, innit?
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I agree. I agree. I think we're building a squad right now. For me, that doesn't, it doesn't mean that the likes of a Bruno has to play every game. You know, I see something yesterday on Twitter, actually, funny enough, yeah. And the exact team that the person had was the exact team that I said. So he had a team of Lamens in goal, Matthias De Ligt, Lenny Yoro, centre backs,
Yeah.
and then he had Mazraoui right back, Patrick Dorgu left. No, sorry, um, Alejandro Balde left back, and then it was a midfield three, but it was Baleba in the middle of the three, and then it was Kobe to the left, and then Tillemans. I think was it Tillemans? I think no, sorry, it was Kobe. I think it was either Kobe to the right or to the left, and then Tillemans in there, and then it was Cunha from the left, Ahmad on the right, and Joshua Zirkzee as the false nine. And again, we'll get onto Joshua Zirkzee in a minute because obviously there's been news today about Zirkzee. But I just think the squad that we're building, and especially that midfield area now, to think that we've got three players that weren't really the three a lot of fans were looking at, well, definitely two of them anyway. But we've got a good balance in there now. And there's even talk about us still going in for another midfielder. I'm not touched on, Leicester's youngster called Louis Page, even though like he looks very good and he's left-footed as well. He's one for the future, really. But obviously he's not someone that's going to step into the first team. So there's no point for me even getting onto that. But the fact that we're still being linked with another midfielder,
No,
is
that
well,
bro, that's frustrating to me in itself. Like the fact that if we're looking at a youngster that's nowhere near stepping into the first team immediately, I
yeah,
don't even know why people are considering it a signing. You know what I mean?
mm,
Because it's like, bro, I seen an article the other day about fucking Baleba being, I think it was like the eighth signing of the window or some shit that they're trying to claim. Bro, fuck that
I
old
watch trying
ass.
to include him with the youngsters as well.
Yeah, man. Fuck these fucking
Yeah,
academy players and fuck that fucking 30-something-year-old fucking goalkeeper that's never gonna get a minute. Like,
yeah,
bro, don't count these. Like, no one should be counting these as fans.
mm,
Like, we should be seeing it as stop trying to stack pad with a fucking transfer window. You're taking the piss now.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
bro, like the whole talk, like you say, like you feel like it's not even really like worth addressing because you know that it's nowhere near. It's like, well, the fact that the fan base will hear that and be like, yeah, it's been a good window. We're still going for another, bro. The kid might never even fucking see first team football.
mm,
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, I'm not counting that shit. You know what I mean? Like, not a
yeah.
chance. Like, if the kid ends up fucking coming into the first team and whatever, then great. It was a fucking fantastic bit of business, but no one can really look at these fucking academy like signings and be like, yeah, that's the no. Come on now. We need man that will walk into that first team right now.
Mm,
So anyone
yeah.
getting excited over academy players coming in, it's fucking ridiculous.
But again, this is the thing though. Yeah, I look at the three players that we've signed in Baleba, Santos and what's his name, Yuri Tillemans,
Mm.
no one can tell me that those three are not three players that should be starting. I think out of all three of them, I think people will probably say Andre Santos probably is the one, because you hear all the talk about he's a Chelsea bench player, etc. But he's probably the only one that you might say, might be a rotation option, you would say. But Tillemans and Baleba for me are two guys that really have to be starting, whether it's the price or whether it's the quality. But again, you got three places, which one of them contains the captain, and it's like you've got the academy graduate. How does he figure into this? And this is why I can't wait till they're all fit, because it's really going to show me how Carrick sees these players. You know what I'm trying to say? And again, there'll be certain games, especially with the Champions League games, some of the away games, you're going to have to go a bit more cautious there, packing out the midfield, etc. But I want to see what Carrick's thinking is, because he has to go away from this whole Bruno in the 10. It has to be that. And the very fact that he's got that midfield quartet now, and there's talk about adding another one, it's definitely telling me that, I think during the season, he's gonna go. I think predominantly he's gonna play three in the midfield. I'm not sure when, but I've just got a feeling he's predominantly gonna go for that formation sooner or later. I think a lot of it's gonna depend on how United do in certain games, because let's say we play Man City and he goes with Bruno in the 10 and then two midfielders, and then we get absolutely battered. I think that might be the game where Carrick thinks, right, I need to shore up the midfield, because I actually do think Carrick's preferred formation is probably three in midfield anyway. You know what I'm saying? So
the thing is, though, we do play three in midfield, but we don't do it the traditional way. Because if you look at it, last season, when everyone was fit, it was Casemiro and Kobe in mid, and then you had Bruno in the 10, then you had your wingers and you had the 9. Yeah, but Bruno just played that far forward that he left Kobe and Casemiro alone to do it all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like essentially any time I'm equating Bruno's going to stay in the picture, the two midfielders, one of them's going to be more defensive minded. You know what I mean? This is why I don't think, because like Baleba and Mainu, decent defensively, but like these men both like to get forward and like to play a pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't feel like that's gonna work. Like on all like you're gonna get caught out on counters and you're gonna get caught out with it. There's no way around it. So it's like you need someone that's just gonna be that holding player like Casemiro 9 times out of 10. And then obviously like for the joke, Casemiro was still having to take shit into his own hands and get forward when he realistically shouldn't have. He was taking massive risks for us last season to get as many fucking numbers as he did. I know a lot of them came from set pieces, but bro, if you remember, my mum was driving forward late into games when we needed results. So it's like, ideally, he wants someone that's just going to sit there in a midfield 2, essentially, so Bruno can play so far up as a secondary striker. But essentially, if you replace Bruno with Tielemans, then it's going to start shaping up like more of a traditional midfield 3. Because he's going to play deeper in, you get me? But Bruno he just wants to play so far forward. He's not interested in doing the actual hard work. Well, to be fair, I don't feel like he's not interested. I feel like he knows he's not really capable of doing it, and that's where he'll get exposed. But like he knows he's just got to stay forward. He's got to try and do what he does best, innit?
Yeah.
But,
no, I agree. And the thing as well, like with Baleba's been brought in as a lot of people are saying he's going to provide the legs that United haven't got, but all this he's going to be bringing in the legs is not going to make not one bit of difference, because the one thing that we know with Carrick, the player that he was, Carrick's someone that likes control of the midfield. Now, with the way that Bruno's going to play, as we've said plenty of times, if Bruno's going to play the way that he does, it's impossible to have control of your midfield. It's impossible, because you're gonna need like a midfielder to be disciplined, and Bruno's ill-disciplined. So this is why I said, yeah, with Bruno, if Bruno plays the way that he's playing now, like he probably will get, he probably will get GA. He probably will. But what happened is that we're not going to be dominating games, because it's impossible to dominate games with a guy that's meant to be playing midfield that leaves his other two midfielders exposed so he can go and play support striker. And this is the problem. And I think Carrick, the midfielder that he wants control in there. So I'll be very surprised if Carrick continues throughout the whole season banking on Bruno playing the way that he is. Again, if Bruno adapts his game to playing a bit more defensive, and playing a bit more as a midfielder, it will help. But then again, you've got other players there that will be better. You got other players there that will be better for that position. If that means playing deeper in that sense. And this is why I've always said Bruno Fernandes, really, he's gonna see himself out the team. He will. And again, he hasn't even got to be doing too much to see himself at the team, because naturally we've got better central midfielders in terms of keeping the ball than him. So something eventually has to give, man. I think the sign of Baleba, as I said, it makes Carrick's decision even more difficult to keep playing him, week in, week out. So, but yeah, man, listen, the Baleba signing, I'm very happy with, 70 million. I think when you're looking at some of the prices that players have gone for, I'm seeing Bradley Barcola go for 120 today. I mean, football's in the bin, man. Bradley Barcola for 120. Yeah, madness, absolute madness. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, you'll have to say that it's a good signing, man. And at 22 years of age as well, it's very clear that United are building for the future and building for now. Because again, Baleba's someone for me that steps straight in, and I'm happy United have got him. Again, wasn't my first choice. He was my second choice. I would say Camavinga, as you know. But the fact that we've got him in, man, is a very good signing. So yeah, let's go on some of these comments quickly. Was Nani world class? You know what? This is a good question, yeah. And the reason why it's a good question is because I think that goes to show you the era of football we're in now. Because if Nani was in this era of football, he's world class. But when Nani was playing for United, he was just considered as a top prospect. And again, there was times at United he was a bit in and out of the games, but there was clear quality. I think the best way to say it is that Nani had world-class ability, but I wouldn't necessarily say he was a world-class player. And that ain't nothing against Nani. It's because the level was higher. You put Nani in this era of football now with some of the wide players that we have to watch on a weekly basis, he's clearly world-class, So I think it just goes to show you the kind of era that we're in now, because there's only a handful of world-class players that I would actually say that are just genuine world-class, no question. And I'll be honest with you, for me, I'd barely say there's one in this Premier League. I think there's probably one or two in this Premier League that are probably world-class or have world-class potential, so crazy. Are you counting Tynan Thompson? Yeah, listen, man. Again, he's been brought for the future, but, is he good enough to be a first-team regular for Man United? You never know. Look at Chido Obi, for instance. Chido Obi was someone, Chido Obi was someone, there was high hopes for him. I think there's been talk about Fenerbahce, and look at that, Danny Welbeck just scored as well. There was talk about I'm not Fenerbahce, sorry, Feyenoord, but I think that's been squashed. But yeah, listen, these Tynan Thompsons and that, I'm not really looking at them too much, because until we sort out our first team, which we ain't far off, these players like Tynan Thompsons and some of these other players that are coming in, they have to be amongst the first team squad and see if they've got what it takes to challenge the players already in their position. And that's how you kind of take it seriously, innit? So, yeah, and as Black Mojo said, Thompson probably ain't going to be given senior minutes. Exactly. Exactly. Again, it's going to be up to him to show, in training and in some of the games that he gets. You never know. He might get Carabao Cup minutes, and he's got to kind of show in them minutes, in them kind of games, what he can do. But I just think, yeah, I'm not really looking at these players really as having a future. Really, that Louis Page though, he does look very good. Very good, and he's left-footed as well, man. So left-footed players always have something special, man. So yeah, let's see what happens, innit? All right, let's move on to Joshua Zirkzee. And listen, I wish Joshua Zirkzee all the best, man, because he's a top footballer, top footballer, man. Highly technical, highly skilled player. And again, he's another player that, unfortunately, he's come to England and he's at a club like Manchester United, and the majority of the Manchester United fan base, they don't respect players like a Joshua Zirkzee, because these guys, to think that Joshua Zirkzee, and again, he's on less money and he costs less as well, but to think that Joshua Zirkzee is leaving the club, but yet Mason Mount is still here, it just goes to show you everything with what's wrong with the fan base and how they rate players. Because I'm not going to have no one tell me that Joshua Zirkzee is a poor player when the likes of Mason Mount and a lot of these other players that should be gone are still here. And the thing with Joshua Zirkzee, which I don't like here, I'd have no qualms really if Joshua Zirkzee was given regular game time and he just wasn't doing the business, wasn't playing well. If you want to look at his numbers, cool. I'd have more respect for it. But the fact that Joshua Zirkzee has Joshua Zirkzee even had 5 games in a row? I don't think he does. I don't think he has. And 5 games in a row playing in the same position. The fact that he's having to leave, and let's get this right, yeah. The club are not forcing him out, by the way. He's deciding to leave because he's probably spoken to Carrick, and Carrick cannot assure him of the minutes. So again, someone with his talent is probably just deciding that it's best for him to move on and get game time. But as I said, I wish him all the best. Part of me hopes the deal doesn't go through, because I still believe, he's got a place at Manchester United if he's given the opportunities. But if he does go, then yeah, man, all the best, man, because he's a very, very good footballer. But let's see what we do in terms of bringing someone in. But Fitz, what do you reckon of the Joshua Zirkzee news to Fiorentina? What's your take on it?
To be fair, I don't blame him in it. It's pretty much the same sentiment as you. Like, just wish him the best in it. Like, fucking obviously, I I feel like he should have at least been afforded opportunities, and not just here and there opportunities, like you say, a little bit of consistency to find out whether he is good enough for the league or not. Cause now it's still a question mark as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He wasn't really given any kind of chance from the start. But at the same time, though, now it just raises more questions for me, because there's gonna be, like Stu was already talking about, they're only gonna fucking let him go if they sign somebody else up top that
Yeah.
will. Early, like 2 days ago, I was hearing talks about Balde and Hall and shit. So why now are you gonna let one of the options go for, even if it's just for rotation purposes? Like, why wouldn't you fucking assure him at least we're gonna give you like a certain amount of games in the cup? You know what I mean? Like, it's baffling me a bit. Like, but yeah, like I say, it's disappointing because I already know how much dead weight we've got to let go, and how much we've got to replace. It's not that we can just let players like Mount go. We still, like, he's filling up a squad number for a reason. It just shouldn't be number 7 and not on that wage. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
obviously, like, you let him go, you still got to replace him with somebody that can play fucking in the 10 or further into midfield, like someone that's a bit of a utility player. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's essential for squad depth. But at the end of the day, fucking hell, when you're letting players like Xerxes go, and man's not even really had an opportunity. Like, well,
Yeah.
fucking players like Mount, like he might, some could say he's not been given an opportunity, but that's because he's never fucking fit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's totally different. Like you can cut
But again,
ties with people
Mount's still
sometimes.
there because of the wage that he's on. That's the only reason. If Mount was on Xerxes' wage, then he'd have been gone a long time ago. But
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? And this is why I think it is unfair, because no one could tell me that Xerxes been given an opportunity. He hasn't. It's just that he was written off from the very first few games because, again, the mentality in this country is if you're not running around, you know, showing the hard yards, you're just written off. You know what I'm trying to say? And if Xerxes was someone, if Xerxes was someone that, regardless of him, you know, not scoring enough, I mean, look at Rasmus Højlund, prime example, yeah. Rasmus Højlund went 20 odd games twice without scoring a goal, but because it looked like he was really trying, the fan base just gave him, and obviously other things as we know anyway, the fan base just gave him every opportunity under the sun, didn't it? But the facts were, Rasmus Højlund was shit. You know what I'm trying to say? But yet he gets 20 odd games without scoring a goal. He gets given a chance. Xerxes can't even buy 5 regular games. And yet the fan base have already said, like, get him out of it. You know, it's just odd behavior. But listen, man, Fiorentina, I think they're the front runners right now. I think it's a loan. I think I heard it was like a 4.5 million loan with an option to buy. But again, I think it's still to be finalized. But part of me is hoping, yeah, because again, I repeat, yeah, it's not the club getting rid of Xerxes. Xerxes decided to leave because he's more or less been given the assurances that, you know, he's not really going to figure. That's the only thing that's the only kind of observation that I can come to. And again, I think it's very similar to Balde. I think Balde wants to stay at Barca, but I think it's going to come down to, you know, where does his game time lie in it, really? And it's deciding whether he wants to go or not. So, yeah, listen, I think if Xerxes can somehow just turn around and say, you know, he wants to fight for his place or whatever, because I do believe, you know, if he's given opportunities, he's gonna show. But again, if he does agree to go Fiorentina, yeah, it's another player that we've not really got the best out of, and it's a long list, you know. And I just hope that United go away from that, because there's too many top players that we have that are just not being given, you know, the right platform or the opportunities in preference of other players that are nowhere near as talented, you know. So yeah, man, it's frustrating. And the thing is with Xerxes as well, it's not like Xerxes has a shortage of players, of teams interested. You know, I see that there was Everton, Aston Villa, and there was someone, and Newcastle were interested in him as well. Obviously, you got Juventus, Fiorentina, they're looking at him. So again, he has interest from other clubs. That's the main thing. Whereas there's a lot of players, especially, you know, the likes of players in our squad, that don't really get that interest for one reason or another. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, man, it's one of them things that he he's gonna be gone, unfortunately, and it's another player that we've not got the best out of, man, unfortunately. So yeah, Carrick rates Mount very highly, but where will Mount play? I don't think Carrick rates Mount very highly. I just think
Not believe me in it.
yeah, but again, like I don't think Carrick rates Mount very highly. I just think Mason Mount, the wage and the number, is what is keeping him at this club still, because Mason Mount has spent, obviously, as you know, half his time out injured. But the very fact that he's on 250 and wears number 7, there ain't no club that's going to take his wage on. So this is the problem. And whoever sanctioned those deals, again, you can go back to the Rashford 300. You can go back to the Bruno 300, you know, the Mount 250. Whoever sanctioned those deals, Man United are actually paying for it now, because all those deals were not done under Ineos's watch. So again, Ineos are having to rectify all the mistakes that the previous people that were in charge, they're rectifying them now. So getting rid of Mason Mount's not going to be easy, because he'll just sit on that wage until the contract runs out, because no one's going to pay him that. And no one's going to pay him that because they know that he's not worth that. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's the same with Rashford. Rashford would have been gone, as we know, if he was on 120 grand a week, let's say, because no one's going to pay 300 grand a week because he's not worth that. And then the same thing with Bruno Fernandes. He's on 300 grand a week. No one's going to come and pay him that unless it's Saudi. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's a good eye-opener to see that a lot of these players that are in Man United's first team, they're only here because there's no one else that wants them. And these guys are on good money, and they're just going to say, look, I'll just sit tight and just take the money, really. You know? So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What's this? The lap is 50 mil. Xerxes must be 70. But again, the lap's got the English tax. You know what I'm trying to say? But again, the very fact that Liam Delap's gone for 50 million and Xerxes one is a loan with an obligation. Again, if he does go to Fiorentina, I guarantee you the obligation is going to be roughly for how much we bought him, or maybe slightly less. And again, what that has to do with, yeah, and this is a prime example of what I mean. The English press in this country have destroyed Xerxes' image. But Liam Delap, who I actually think is actually a good player, yeah, he was shocking at Chelsea. But his image has never been destroyed. And yet he goes for 50, but Xerxes won't go for the same that Delap goes for. Not a chance. So yeah, man, it's just annoying. But I want to know who we get in as replacement. Who you looking at as replacement though for Xerxes?
Bro, we've had this discussion before. The striker market is so fucking thin.
Because the thing is, yeah, do you think United go for another striker? Because there's been talk about Mateta. You know, there's a Mantanovic as well. And again, Mantanovic, they're saying is very similar to Xerxes. For me, why would you get rid of Xerxes to go and bring in someone that's similar to him? Makes no sense. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and again, you got Rashford, Cunha, Mbuemo, who can Sesko, who can all play through the middle. So, do Man United strengthen elsewhere if it means losing a Xerxes? What do you reckon?
Well, I don't know, because obviously the talk was like we only let him go if we're going to be getting a replacement for him. And personally, I don't want to see Cunha or Mbuemo in the nine. So it's like, well, essentially we've got Sesko, which everybody knows, obviously fucking the pressure that Highland fucking found himself under when everyone was basically saying we've only got one striker with Lineman. Right, yeah. You do not want that going into.
Bro, I think your volume's a bit down, you know.
Yo, one sec, bring it a bit closer. That any better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. Obviously, I feel like if we was to leave it, don't really want Cunha in the nine, don't want Mbuemo in the nine. Essentially, we've only got Sesko. You remember, obviously, when Highland was the only number 9 that we had, everyone was saying like, "Yo, this shouldn't be this." So I don't feel like anyone's gonna settle with, "Oh well, we've got options with Mbuemo and Cunha," because surely nobody else wants to see them in the 9 either.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like, or even if you're gonna say that, okay, cool, you got 2 makeshift strikers as backup, but again, is that good enough? You know what I mean? Especially for the fact that there was actually an opportunity this season where it's so up in the air. People are still actually giving Tottenham a fucking chance at top 4, just for the fact that they've invested well and they've got 1 game a week.
Yeah,
bro. Fucking, we're talking about Chelsea could win the fucking league potentially this season if they get it right. Fucking, and obviously I know it's United chat, but fucking just to touch on it, I said it 2 weeks ago. Who's the keeper I said that they should look at?
And they've just agreed it today. he's actually signed,
bro. Just saying, you get me. But that's what I'm saying though. Some things are just, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So a coach like Xabi Alonso, I can see my man. Yeah, it just makes sense. My man's trying to get a way out. He's been looking for a way out for time, and we're fucking relying on Sanchez. Why not? Just take the gamble. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like you getting charged much now. It's peanuts essentially for what you're getting. But
Mm.
like that's what frustrates me about like this window because it's like, well, if you're gonna do shit on a budget, cool. But we know what we spent last summer without Champions League and with the worst finish in history and all the rest of it. It's like, so how the fuck do we invest this well? Like, do you remember I said it a few weeks ago that a list of players that we signed when we had no Champions League football, and it's guys like Pogba and that. Then when you've got
Yeah.
Champions League, it's fucking
It
Fred.
was, it was Pogba, Eric Bailly, Zlatan,
No,
Henrik
no, no.
Mkhitaryan. Innit?
One sec. I think I wrote it down. I think I
Mm.
actually wrote it down. Let me see if I can find it quickly.
Yeah, go on. While you doing that, I'll just go through the chat. Big up to Foxy Danny as well. Big up to yourself. Big up to Lumi Rain as well for becoming a member for 9 months. 9 months supporting Gav. Yeah, big up yourself, Lumi. Big up. Appreciate it. So yeah, as I said, I think the money as we know that's been spent. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I'm banking off the fact that I said 5 players minimum, and technically we're technically still one short in a sense.
So we're
Because
technically too short. What are you talking
no, bro,
about?
we know that, yeah, but technically
Not counting
they
that
they
keeper.
could use Carl Darlow. You know what I'm trying to say?
Not counting the fucking bro. We couldn't. No. It could have just as easily been an extension for Tom Heaton. Let's be clear. Like it's not like
I hear it.
he's not a signing. He is Tom Heaton's replacement. How many games
I
you
hear
seen Tom Heaton play?
0.
Right. So let's not get into all that semantics bullshit, shall we? Yeah? But let's just call a spade and keep it 100 on this shit, card. Nah,
Mm.
I'm not counting that. Bro,
I
did
hear it.
Cardalo ever even start for Leeds?
Yeah, he did. He played a couple of games for them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he played a couple of games for them.
Just wondering, like I say, I don't recognize that name. Like, bro, that literally just
Bro,
looks like,
Carl Darlow used to be at Newcastle.
bro, don't remember him at all. That's how little impact he's had of a career. But this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, bro. Fucking, I seen a thing the other day about fuck Project Mbappe. It's fucking Project Third Choice Goalkeeper. I'm telling you now, it makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. The wages these men are running. When you look at like the highest level of it, it's like, fam,
Mm.
the money these men get paid and play like 4 minutes of a whole career, bro. Fucking crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Cardalo means nothing to me, bro. What's
Yeah,
his
no,
age?
listen.
How many
I
minutes do you
think if we're
expect
being
him to get?
serious, we're not going to count Carl Darlow. But
Yeah,
I'm just
so
saying,
right
if
now
they was to sign
three.
one more player, they could
We've
turn
got
around and
four.
say, "Yeah, we got
Well,
5
no, they
players."
can't. They can't turn around. They can't turn around because we won't
Bro, they
hear it.
can. You know they can. Come on,
No,
you
no,
know they
no.
can.
They can't.
They can turn
They
around and
can't.
say, "Listen, we got
Bro,
5 players,
they,
man.
they're
Keep
already
it
trying to
moving."
say that we've signed 8 because we signed fucking Tyler. What's his face from fucking Tottenham's academy? It
Oh,
means
Tynan
nothing.
Thompson. Yeah, yeah,
Means nothing, bro. In
yeah,
4 years, he could be a world beater, and at that point, then we'll know if it was good business. But the
yeah.
joke is, he might never even play a minute in a Manchester United first team. So I'm not getting excited about none of this shit. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Cardalo, bro, he's not even an academy. He literally is just to fill out a homegrown quota. Like I say, bro, I played football manager for too many years to not understand when you register in your squad, you need a certain amount of homegrown players,
All right,
bro.
FGN. If you know, you know.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, bro. Like, nah, obviously, I know what it is. Them ones there,
Mm.
I'm not giving no credit for at all. It's like, bro, when we fucking brought back fucking Johnny Evans, did you count that as a fucking signing? 'Cause I definitely didn't. You know, it can't
Yeah.
happen, bro.
Mm.
It's like fucking hell. Like Michael Owen barely passed the transfer as far as I'm concerned. Like, fuck that. Certain man don't count.
Yeah. But again, yeah. So I think when we had no Champions League, it was those players, isn't it? Mkhitaryan, Eric Bailly.
No, but it was a list of like other ones that like including all the
Okay.
other windows. So it was like fucking, and obviously the highlights of it in it. So it was like Zlatan, Pogba. I think Martial was one. Fucking,
Mm.
you had Sesko. Fucking, you know what I mean? You had a nice little list there, and then the next one was shit like fucking Fred, and like just bare signings. It's like, oh my days.
Mm.
Yeah, what the fuck? But it's like it's just that difference between when we're going in for Champions League, how little we prepare. It's like don't be surprised when we don't make it out of the group stage and actually try to and sacrifice league games to do it and still can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
don't be surprised because we don't prepare efficiently for it. As soon as we don't qualify for it, it's like then the owners say, you know what, we need to invest because the money we just lost from not qualifying, as long as we qualify every year, we can just throw pennies at it. You know what I mean? But if we don't
Yeah.
qualify, then the spotlight's on us and we're out of pocket then as well. Like, it's too blatant. Like I say, certain signings. It's like here's the checkbook, certain windows. It's like, well,
Yeah,
why
but you
that
know what? You know
window?
what? I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest. I like even though it's not been the window that I expected in terms of the numbers and probably the targets. I'm still happy with what we've signed. I have to be honest. Santos, Tillemans, and Baleba for me are three good signings. Of course, like we want more signings, but there's no part of me that's gonna say, look, the window hasn't been what I thought it was gonna be. But they've made some good signings. I don't think they've made literally, other than obviously as we know, Ugarte, a bad signing. I don't think they've
No,
made a bad signing.
I hear it, but like, so like, one sec. Look at these for fucking first windows, yeah.
Mm,
Like, I think only fucking Solskjaer might have had a worse window, and it's only because he spent so big. So check now, yeah. So Moyes, he was literally given like fucking money to spend. He just couldn't spend it because no one wanted to play for him in it. After
mm,
he was chasing like fucking Fabregas and Cruz and Bale and that in it, ended up with fucking Fellaini and Varela. Yeah, fucking. So he had a shit window, but that was essentially because of the quality of manager in it. Van
yeah,
Gaal, he brought in Di Maria, Luke Shaw, Falcao, Herrera, Rojo, and Blind. Yeah,
mm,
Jose's first window, Pogba, Bailly, Mkhitaryan, and Ibra. Yeah, Solskjaer, 80 mil for Maguire, Wan-Bissaka for 50 mil, and then Daniel James as well. So he just
yeah.
spent so big that he had a small window in it, but
Bro,
fucking he
that
had
you know
money
what?
to spend.
Those three signings there, it is poor. It's poor, man.
Yeah. And one
Yeah,
sec, then Ten
yeah.
Hag.
I
Ten
actually
Hag.
forgot. Yeah, I actually wait. Bro, you mean to tell me, yeah, we spent in that window on Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Dan James?
Yeah. And
Bro, that,
we
that, that can't have just been the players we signed. It cannot. That's
was
impossible.
145 for those three.
Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Dan James.
Yeah.
You know what? Whoever sanctioned that, yeah, they cannot be at the club still. That is
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I actually forgot we signed those three in one window.
Yeah.
Bro, Dan James, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire. That's probably the worst business I've ever heard for a top
Yeah.
team.
Right. But that's the only one worse than Carrick. So like right now, because if you look at it, then you've got fucking Ten Hag with Anthony, Casemiro, Martinez, Ericsson, Dubravka on obviously on loan, and fucking Malacia.
Mm,
Fucking like they spent well. You know what I mean? Spent a lot still. Spent well. Fucking Amarim, obviously fucking on here it's only classing his first window as the January in it. So we
yeah.
got Dorgu in heaven, but let's be clear, like my man spent in it. My man spent last summer. That was his first window. Yeah, then you look at Carrick, bro. They're padding it out even on here. You've got Santos, Baleba, Tielemans, and then they put that Thompson kid and Cardalo. I'm not having it. You're not padding the shit out. You know what I mean? Nah, nah. We like literally you cut out them last two. You had Santos, Baleba, and Tielemans. Essentially, bro, the only window that you can say is worse than that is the fucking Solskjaer one. At least everybody else got multiple players and got to invest properly. How the fuck you gonna count this fucking 8 million kid from fucking Tottenham and a free transfer from Leeds as part of the business? It can't, no, it
Crazy, innit?
can't be, bro. Carrick,
It's
Carrick.
madness.
Realistically, it's almost like Carrick's set up to fail already. Like
Yeah, but you know
these
what?
are
You know
decent
what?
signings, but it's not
I keep
sufficient.
hearing that though. Yeah, I keep hearing that. But what I will say, yeah, the only way for me, Carrick, yes, you can say he hasn't been given more players or players that will cost a lot more money, whatever. Yeah, but for me, the only way I'm counting Carrick as failing is if it's a lot of it's based on his team selection for me. Because if he cannot identify what his best team is, what players to play, then I'm placing that on him. But I do believe, yeah, I do believe he knows what needs to be done. It's just whether he's going to be given long enough, which I think he should do, to kind of change things, isn't it? But yeah, like there's no denying, man, that the money that we spent, it is underwhelming in comparison to what a lot of the other teams are spending. But let's face it, Fitz, yeah. Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount, especially those two, because you've got injury prone and a guy that would have gone anyway. There's no doubting if those two were off the wage bill, we probably would have had an extra couple of players in it already.
No, I hear it. But the thing for
So
me, that's frustrating. Like, for example, you look at Liverpool, yeah,
yeah,
bro, fucking 120 mil for Barcola. They've almost outspent us with one player this window. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
yeah.
adding real quality to like this
But
bargain hunt stuff.
I'm
Like,
trying to
yeah,
think though, yeah.
Tielemans
Who
is
have they
brilliant.
who have they lost, yeah, in terms of taking money? I mean, they've lost Mo Salah's wage, in it. So that's gonna aid
Yeah,
getting another signing through the door. Who else was
yeah,
there?
yeah. No, but don't get it twisted. His wage was probably nowhere near even Casemiro's.
No. Mo
The thing
Salah,
man did,
Mo Salah was the second highest paid player in the league. Erling Haaland's on
okay.
500. Mo Salah was on about 450, maybe more than that.
All right. So what? Fucking, we lost Casemiro and Malacia, which will probably equal that, and then on top of it, fucking Sancho's off the books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can credit them as oh well, they got Salah's fucking wage off. Well, look at the fucking wages we got off, bro. It doesn't make
Mm,
sense. Right?
mm,
Like there's no justification for it. And like I say, look, when you're losing players out of the squad that are leaving on free transfers, and then you're loaning out a bunch of players because you want them gone as well, but you're not even replacing them when you know you've got four competitions that you got to fucking fill the team sheet. You know what I mean? What
yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like I say, certain things like it just seems like it's so clear in football. Like everything like seems pretty clear cut with certain things, and it's like the whole Chelsea thing with the keeper. It was clear what needed to be done. They've done it
Mm.
now. Bro, I'm actually debating putting on a bet for Chelsea to win the league this season. I just feel dirty doing it.
What you think he's gonna be the difference maker?
Bro, all they need someone experienced in net that's gonna fucking not make these silly daft mistakes. Like you look at the two goals against Fulham, both
Mm,
goalkeeper fucking mistakes, really. Like the defense is young, but there's some quality there and a lot of potential. You know what I mean? If they've got someone experienced behind them where now they're not got to worry every 2 fucking minutes about fucking losing the ball or getting beat. They know they've got a keeper that they can rely on. They can
mm,
make mistakes and learn and grow. That's gonna help them hugely. And then you add the extra experience that's there on the training ground and in the locker room that they've got for midfield and attack. with Welbeck and fucking Henderson. Bro, it's been a very good window for them, man. You know what I mean? They got rid of Garnacho. They've identified problems and cut them out. Yeah. Then they brought
Yeah.
in experience where they've needed it and where it's gonna complement. You know what I'm saying? So, like Henderson and Welbeck might not even get minutes like that, but I guarantee that like Welbeck it's not missed on us the fact that Welbeck works with João Pedro before.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
Yep.
having someone there that you know, trust, and like, bro, my man's
Oh,
made
bro,
a good
don't
run in
forget
the
as well, yeah. Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson are very good friends as well from their time at Sunderland. So
it's been very, very smart what them man have done. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, and one game a week, they've got everything to play for. They've got a good coach there. They've got a
yep.
good squad. There's no reason why. The only reason why you'd say that they might fall short is that inexperience in the defense. You know what I mean? Because they have got a lot of young defenders, no real uh,
But the thing is,
experience.
that Lacroix's an important signing for them because Lacroix's the oldest in their backline, yeah. But
Like
not to mention
25,
with
isn't it?
Lacroix, he's quite aggressive as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
had the experience of playing in the World Cup as well. So
Yeah. But that's what I'm
yeah, man.
saying. Like when your oldest defenders are like 25 and 24, it's a bit inexperienced, especially when we know defenders like they do like the peak years. Like for attackers, it's normally it is them younger ages. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
fucking for the absolute peak of defenders, you're talking like 27, 28, 29. Like that's where
yeah.
they're really coming into everything in it. So
Mm.
it's like them like Lacroix's gonna be a massive signing for the future for them, but I don't know whether he's sufficient experience, especially bro. Yeah, he went to the World Cup, but it's been Palace that is you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Well, bro,
it's
I'll tell you this though, yeah.
it,
I'll tell you this. I think Enzo's gonna go Man City, yeah.
yeah,
And let me tell you this, yeah. I won't be surprised. I mean, Martinez is through the door now. Do not be surprised if they bring in another couple of players before this window, because if they lose Enzo, they have to get a replacement. Yeah. Now they're looking at 120 for Enzo. Yeah. They can just slap that on Adam Wharton, and even though Palace don't want to lose him, Palace are not going to turn down 120 if they was to
yeah.
pay that for Wharton.
Let's
So
be real. Let's be real. Like
yeah,
Aston Villa, like they went in for 117, they just broke the record. If they went in at 119 for what and they'd accept it, it's a clean
yeah,
record.
exactly.
There's no way they
But they're gonna
don't.
have that money anyway from Enzo because it's. I think I see something
Yeah,
today. Enzo's given his preference to join Man City, so City will come in
yeah,
for a bid with him, and then Chelsea are gonna have someone lined up. They're talking about Manu Kone, yeah, but they're gonna slap money down on for me because the manager of Bournemouth has said that he's more or less 100% certain that Alex Scott's not going anywhere.
yeah,
But again, if they was to slap down 100 mil on Alex Scott, he's gone. You know what I'm trying to
yeah,
say? And if they do
yeah.
the same thing for Wharton, they're gone. So they're going to have the money to make them moves. And one, if I look at Chelsea, Romeo Lavia's back as well. Lavia's a top player. You know, Caicedo's not even played this season. So yeah, man, they're looking dangerous. I can't even lie. But yeah, it's a good signing for them, man. But
Yeah,
yeah, just
man.
back onto United.
No, but
As
yeah,
I
yeah,
said, man, I'm still hopeful. Yeah, something's telling me. Yeah, something's telling me, and this is what I want to get onto now. Yeah, bro, this Camavinga noise is not going away. You know what I see this morning, and it was reported by the Athletic. Sorry, Manchester Evening News. Yeah, Man United. There's talk going on behind the scenes, and part of me is thinking, please be true, but you just never know, innit? Yeah. But they're saying that United are looking at putting a 69 million bid together for Camavinga and Baldi. 69 mil for Camavinga and Baldi.
but
Now,
Balde's deal is meant to be 30, so they're basically saying 39 mil for fucking Camavinga.
well, what the thing is, Camavinga for me, I think you can get him for like 45 mil or something like that, yeah. But I just see it today. They're like part of me just wants it to be true, but there's but I just don't know. But they're saying that 69 million for Balde and Camavinga double deal. That's what they're saying. That's going on in Spain. And the people that have reported it in Spain, I think is a station called Cadena Ser or something like that. So they're reporting that, but Camavinga and Balde, United looking at doing a double deal in the last few days of the window.
But that's the thing, though. It's mad that they're even reporting it like that. Like, how can it be a double deal for two fucking different teams? You know what I mean?
Let me see if I can find it quickly. I'll find it now. I see it today.
But like I seen some shit about we inquired about a loan for Balde, and Barca has made it clear like they have no intention of loaning him in it. They only want to sell him if he's going. So fucking obviously the article was saying like now they're trying to decide if they're gonna actually spend the money, or they spending it on trying another attempt for Lewis Hall, or do they just pivot to Balde? And I keep seeing shit about fucking Camavinga as well, but that's separately because obviously the fact that he could fill in at the left back where needed, as well as stepping into the midfield and essentially being a Casemiro replacement. So it's like, because of the positions that we're actually linked with, like say if we've been linked with like 3 different right backs over this window, I think the Camavinga thing would have died down by now. But because we've been linked with centre mids and left backs, and he can do both roles, he's not gonna go away. He's this Summers De Jong.
Well, bro, I'll give you my take on that in a minute, But this is what I see today, 9:05, It says Man United launched 69 million transfer bids as shock Eduardo Camavinga claim made. Man United are set to launch a 69 million bid in total for La Liga talents Eduardo Camavinga and Alejandro Balde, as per reports. It's been a fruitful transfer window for United, who have already welcomed a number of fresh faces to Michael Carrick's first team. Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos have bolstered their heart of midfield, while Carlos Baleba recently also arrived in a 70 million move from Brighton and Hove Albion. Carl Darlow has also arrived as a free agent to serve as backup to Sene Lamens. However, it appears as though United are far from finished with their summer endeavours, with Pacojo Delgado claiming that moves for Real Madrid's Camavinga and Barcelona's Balde are on the horizon. As per the journalist, an intermediary has claimed that United will look to make a 43 million move for Camavinga before the transfer window closes on Tuesday. So that's what I see in it.
And one thing I will say though, like obviously, like even like you see that in the UK, certain like if you see it's a headline from the Star or article from the Star or something, it's dog shit. You know what I mean? Like the Sun even dog shit. Not to trust certain publications and that. You know what I mean? And certain journalists in Spain, I know that there's a lot of bullshitters out there in it, but it's like because we don't actually know who's credible, who's not really. Like fucking, it's kind of like that's why even like the MEN will be like, well, we'll run it because you never know in it. But it's like fucking for me, that is if they could do it, I would actually put this window as probably the best that we've had in since Fergie. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Compete with some of Fergie's, but that's a massive but. You know what I mean?
Listen. The thing is, when I'm reading it, I'm thinking this is bollocks, But part of me is thinking there has to be something in this Camavinga thing, because when Baleba signed, I was like, okay, Camavinga's not happening now, But the Camavinga thing's still there, and I don't know why, man. I just got a feeling, United are gonna do something in the window, because I'm looking at, even if you're looking at left back, we're not getting Lewis Hall. That's a definite, Even if you look at the David Raums and the Anthony Robinsons that fans have been wanting, I don't think United go there. You know what I'm trying to say personally, They want Balde, but Balde's digging in his heels. But I think the thing is, Barca wouldn't mind selling him if Balde, if Balde said, look, he wants to go, I think Barca would say, look, we're gonna listen to offers. I think they want a certain amount of money.
To be
So
fair, I
I'm just
think they're
looking.
willing to listen to offers for a
Yeah,
number of players, which think of the players. Because, like I say, I seen something that we inquired because Barca's price tag on Gavi was like 35 mil or some shit. So we
yeah,
inquired about that, and fucking Gavi basically turned around and said that he doesn't want to leave Barca in it. He's never
yeah,
contemplated it. So that just died off immediately.
yeah,
But realistically, them man, like there'll be certain players like Pedri and that nah, there's not a price that you can pay for
yeah.
these
They're
man. Innit? But
untransferable. Yeah,
yeah,
mm,
but there's gonna be a lot of players. But because obviously it's Barcelona, they've got a squad full of quality players. So it's gonna be mind blowing to hear that right, they'd actually listen to offers for my man. But it's like,
mm,
well, yeah, cause that's that's nothing to them. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you look at the fucking like the first names on the team sheet. My man's not even in the thought process 9 times out of 10. So
mm,
yeah, they're listening and they're listening fairly cheap in it because they need money. But
yeah.
yeah, I personally I just can't see us being that shrewd in the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, to think if we could get them for another like what 69, yeah.
Mm.
So
That's
what's that?
that's a dodgy number as well, you know.
Very dodgy. This is what I'm saying. You know what? I'm gonna call it 70 just to get away from that. So it's 70 mil, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. Then obviously, what we've already paid 145, so we're paying 215. So less than last window, and bringing in that kind of quality. Yeah, bro, I'll put that up there. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that up there. But nah, as it
All
stands
right.
right now.
Let's nail it down. Yeah, let's nail it down. How many? So you reckon United make how many signings left? One.
Well, I said we'll be lucky if we get one and it'll be a left back. But if we could get two, and when I'm saying quality, I mean man, if we got Balde and Camavinga, both them man, immediately in the first team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm talking that level. I'm not talking where there's a debate of who's gonna start here because look at the midfield three. We're sat here debating who do you think starts. That shouldn't be the case.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? We should
yep.
be saying this guy is a 100% Casemiro's replacement. This guy is 100% Luke Shaw's replacement. You know what I'm saying? Bro, if we're getting that, I'll call it a good window, especially if we're
Yeah,
getting
it
it for
changes
cheap.
everything, can it?
If we pay like last minute fucking panic prices, nah, it's null and void because you you pinch pennies at the start to then just splurge at the end out of panic. Like that doesn't count. Like if they can get good business done, like good deals, like I say, if they can spend less than they did last window, and now
Mm,
bring in two guaranteed first team players, because last window, what we brought in Sesko, Cunha, and Bumo Lamens. Lamens is the first name on the team sheet for me.
yep.
And one of those other three is going to play, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So that there was a window with two players guaranteed in the first team, no matter what. It doesn't matter what combination of the front three, but that keeper was in net every game anyway. So
yep.
if we're going to get two guaranteed first choice, and then the other three are all big squad additions that step up and play big roles, as them three can, yeah, good window. But if we just get one more and it just happens to be a fucking left back, and not even like I say, if it's not at this point, Lewis Hall or Balde, fuck you. Now you're at least third or fourth choice.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm
We're not
saying?
getting Lewis Hall, man. Lewis Hall's not happening.
Nah,
Lewis
but
Hall is gonna probably be either a next season or not gonna happen.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Lewis Hall one's not happening because they're
No,
not gonna sell him. They're not gonna sell him with the window shutting on Tuesday. Not gonna
no,
happen.
no, no. But that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
For me, like personally, I'm only saying it's got to be one of them two because they're the two that we've been so heavily linked to throughout this whole window, basically. The whole time we've
Mm,
been talking left backs, their names have been in the mix. And it's mainly been Lewis Hall. It's only been Balde as of late. So it has to be one of them two, because if it goes with somebody else, I don't give a fuck that's third choice. Like when we went quiet for time on this third midfielder, I even said it. We're waiting for Camavinga. If that
Yeah.
shit's not gonna happen, they're gonna
Mm.
pivot and spend Camavinga money on
On
Carlos
Baleba.
Baleba,
Yeah.
and that's what I still think has happened. So
Because what I see
like
as
if we
well, they're
could
saying
bring
that
Camavinga,
Camavinga, as we know, has been a long-term target.
yeah, but
Yeah.
again, like how many long-term targets have we had that have stayed long-term targets that never happened and now never will? De Jong being the first that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again with that whole, it's it's dealing with Spanish media. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Spanish and English media mixing and getting wires crossed and just printing anything because they can just say so and so said it. Now it's credible because it's not them that's just making this shit up. We heard it from someone, that's why we're reporting it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So it's
Mm.
like that De Jong shit was never gonna die because as soon as we inquired, doesn't matter that De Jong said I don't want to leave and Barca said we don't really want to sell. It doesn't matter. We're gonna hear it all window now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Camavinga could have turned around bluntly and said, I don't want to play for Manchester United and never do. Yeah. And Real Madrid could have turned around and said, we was thinking about it, but Jose loves him, he's going nowhere. But they're still gonna run shit until deadline day passes. They're gonna run shit about this because it's going to be a talking point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If we can still bring in Camavinga, that changes my whole perception of what we've done with Baleba. Because I
Yep.
currently see it as he's a fucking third or fourth choice. Because when you look at the names that we ran through first, we was hearing like Wharton, we was hearing all these different names, and now we've landed with Baleba. To
Mm.
me, is like fifth choice at best. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, to have that as your marquee signing, which them man told us what it was gonna be, one for the future, a good squad player, and a marquee signing, and that's
Bro, but
Santos
have they not
Tielemans
delivered though?
to an extent. But that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
To have Baleba for me was meant to be where Tielemans is as the good squad option, and then
Yeah.
we was meant to bring in a Tuchemeni or a Camavinga, like the clear. This is Casemiro. When Casemiro signed, you know how gassed everybody was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big
Mm.
cash, OT. Like don't be no,
It's
no.
not meant to happen.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
Yeah.
that's what
Bro, all for these
you
fans
want
to tell us that his legs
Tielemans,
are gone, by the way. You know
huh?
what I mean? All for
Uh,
a lot of these fans to say that his legs are gone.
Trust me, but
Fucking idiots.
everyone knew by the end anyway, innit? But that's the thing,
Yeah.
though. Like when he first came, that reaction of yo, Casemiro's here, like that's what needs to be the replacement. And now, as it stands, I feel like Baleba is basically getting viewed as he's the marquee signing, which was meant to be Casemiro's replacement. Now, to me, that's not good enough, especially when if we'd have said from last summer, Baleva's all we want, he's going to be Casemiro's replacement, and never linked us with anybody else.
Mm.
Fair play, you know what I mean? You had a
Yeah.
long-term vision, you stuck to your plan, nothing's deterred it. Go on, let's see what you've got up your sleeve in it. But you can't get to the summer window and say we're not interested in Baleva because it's gonna cost us too much and then shop around everywhere else. And when everyone else is quoting more than what Baleba's price tag was, then you pivot back to Baleba last minute. Like, nah, bro, like it's a bit too clear to see what's
Mm.
happened there. But if they could
Yeah.
bring in Camavinga and Abalde like for cheap, it's like well now that changes the Baleba concept altogether because now it's a case of we brought in one for the future in Santos that can actually step in now and play a squad role. Then you've got
Mm.
Baleba and Tielemans as real good fucking squad options, you know what I'm saying? And then you've still got Mainu that's gonna be hopefully first team football. And then you've got like a fucking Camavinga next to him. That's perfect for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But if it's panning out where the Camavinga Tuchemeni like the marquee signing is now gonna stand as Baleba for this window, like that's disappointing, bro. Especially
Mm.
when fucking hell, like we we were told by the club these three different profiles of midfielders we're gonna focus on. And when you bring in Tielemans, you know Tielemans isn't Casemiro's replacement. You know what I mean? Because as good as
Mm.
he is, it's not the same. It's not the same excitement. You need a high profile player to step into Casemiro's shoes. No one on that pitch could tell Casemiro a fucking thing. That's invaluable. To have a player of that kind of quality, to have a Tuchemeni walk into the team like that, they've been fucking invaluable just to the belief of the players around him, knowing like, right, he's here. We must be doing something right. You know what I mean? We're attracting this level of players. Right now, we've not for two summers now. We've not really attracted the biggest names,
Yeah.
it's not Manchester United that I've known, where all the biggest players they've all even all the biggest one club mans like Del Piero always said if he went anywhere it'd have been United. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Bear Man, I swear Totti said something similar. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like bro, Bear Man all fucking say like yeah Manchester, and it makes sense because the era that it was and what we was doing and the players that we were attracting. Yeah, we could sign fucking pretty much whoever the fuck we wanted. Nowadays, bro, struggling, struggling if we're being totally honest. And I'm
Mm.
not comfortable with it at all. If we was to be able to bring in late in this window a Camavinga and a Balde, it wouldn't just change my perspective on the summer. It would change my perspective on like a lot to do with the club. That right, maybe I maybe
We're
I'm
actually
being
being
too
serious now.
pessimistic. And yeah, man, like
Mm.
it actually changed a lot. Like I'd probably give a bit more time to this Ineos thing.
Yeah.
As it stands from day one, I'm not here for any of it. It's just
Mm.
somebody else. It's another leech on us. You know what I'm saying? That's all I see it as. But
Yeah.
and like I say, if we could, it'd be fucking ridiculous, like the impact it'd have. But I can't. I genuinely can't see it. I can see us fucking bringing in a left back that's someone that's not even been mentioned yet. You know what I mean? Someone like on the level of like the Santos one, like no one heard it, no one had any
Well,
kind of
the
clue.
thing is, say now then, who do you think it's gonna be? Like if you think Man United make one more signing, yeah, who are you looking at?
Know what? Yeah, might be controversial because it's another one of them. Like, no way would they let him go, but it might be one of them. Like, they might not have a choice. Is it Matson?
Ian Matson.
Because yo, there's been a lot of release clauses there, and everyone's jumping ship.
Yeah, yeah. Do
Why?
you know
Why
what?
wouldn't?
That's not a bad shout. To be fair, it's not a bad shout. I actually think Matson's good. I think he's good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I can see it being a level like that, but it being like one of them, like a loan with a fucking obligation to buy maybe because it's too last minute to get all the fucking deal done. I can see something like where it's like, yeah, you're not complaining with it, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I, it's not gonna. It's again that's clearly not first fucking choice. It's third at best.
yeah,
And do we really what are we seeing it as? This is Carrick's first summer. Yeah, his
yeah,
first window. Is that backing him sufficiently? Getting him his third, fourth, fifth choices on positions, like, bro, how important is this? Like, have you watched that recent Jose documentary?
I haven't seen it. No.
Bro, you want to give it a watch, yeah? Like, he said something about you see the season before the Inter Milan treble.
Oh yeah,
He went to their board and said, "I need 5 players. If you bring me them 5 players, I'll win the Champions League."
and he
You
won
get
it.
me? And did it. And this is what I'm saying. And look, he would have gone to our board and said, "Look, I need these players. You get me these players, and I'll be able to achieve something." And fucking, he did. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
won us a few trophies and got us our highest fucking finish uh, for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So let's be real. If a manager comes to you and says, I'd prefer this player, and this player, and here's a list of people underneath. If it's not the first two choices, what are we doing?
yeah,
You're
but bro,
giving me another
yeah, but
game.
come on. Like we know that Elliot Anderson was one of them. Yeah. Are you telling me you would have been satisfied with that Elliot Anderson signing?
No, but this is the thing, though. I feel like if Carrick, like, let's be real. Carrick's gonna know roughly what his budget is, yeah, and he's
Yeah.
gonna know before even inquiring. Like we might still officially inquire just because it's like you never know, you know what I'm saying? But if
Mm.
you've got a rough idea in your head that yeah, I would like Elliot Anderson, but I reckon that they're gonna want upwards of 80 to 100 mil probably for him, yeah, and it's like I don't really want to spend that. I'm not really gonna waste a spot on my list for that. You get me? But I will inquire in case there's a pleasant surprise because yeah, you know what I mean. Rate him highly, whatever. But if I'm sat there like, bro, I'm currently playing Football Manager. Yeah, fucking, I'm sat there looking at my budget, looking at the team, and seeing right. These are the priorities. This is what I need to do. And literally, I'm like, right, well, I only need a backup fucking centre back. But I need a first team right winger. You know what I mean? I need a fucking backup 10, bro. I'm looking at my money and I'm saying, right, well, I've got X amount for the fucking winger, and then I need to get the next two backups with what's left, half of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working through my budget. And I'm looking at like the valuations of players and certain players. Yeah, of course, I'd love to put that. It's the 95 one in it. Obviously,
Mm.
centre back. Fucking, of course, I would love to sign fucking Cannavaro, but I'm not getting him for cheap. He's 20 years old, full of potential, and already fucking balling out of his fucking head. I'm not getting him. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. It's not within my budget. So man's looking at it and thinking, right, it's gonna have to be a young fucking like well an inexperienced Jap Stam. He's got the potential, but he's a whole star less than Cannavaro and 2 years older. But he's
Mm.
within my budget now. And this is what I'm saying. It doesn't take a genius if you can do it on the fucking game. You can like look at it in real life as pretty much the same shit. You know what your budget is. You know what your priorities are. If you've been told you've got 150 mil for three midfielders, and then you've got a budget after that. Okay, say if the budget after that is another 100 mil, and you know, right, I want to realistically, if Rashford's gonna stick around, I don't want the winger. I want to get a fucking a left back. That's gonna be X amount at least. Yeah, cut himself a limit of 35 mil. And then, right, I also want a backup striker because I'm not really feeling Xerxes. That leaves me fucking 65 for a striker. But if I also need a backup keeper, well, you know what? I'll bring in Darlow on a free, so I still got my budget right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you plan your shit out accordingly. And if Carrick now in the position that he's in as Manchester United manager has has left it until like last minute and not fucking thought about these things, and you know what I mean, like, bro, it's the wrong guy. You know what I mean? Like I want the same kind of efficiency that you got from the greatest managers. Like Michael Carrick's got a lot to prove. All these managers in the league right now have all got shit to prove. You know what I'm saying? They're all
Yeah.
starting scratch right now. All the biggest clubs have all got new managers. And Arsenal's manager, fucking, he's the one longest standing, and he's still a young manager that's won one league. You know what I'm saying? No Europe, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Mm.
all got points to prove. They've all got shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what? Why the fuck would Carrick not be prepared? For me, I feel like he would have 100% been saying, look, these are the players that we need. I know it's going to be an expensive window, but we spent X amount last summer. If we can fucking add the Champions League kitty to that and this, that, and the
Mm.
next, and fucking cut off these wages, we can afford it. But they're still penny pinching. 'Cause that's the way that they've been for years, bro. They've been leeches for years. So
Yeah.
why would I suddenly feel like now it's just we're doing smart business,
Yeah,
bro?
but you have to take into account as well that Ineos are undoing a lot of the previous work that's been done already, isn't it? So
I hear it. I hear it. And I'm not saying that you need to overspend every window, but when you presented an opportunity like what this season was, it
mm.
was a gift for where we were and what was going on. It was an absolute gift that all the top managers or top teams managers, shall I say, all got fucking changed over. Everyone's starting brand new. Like Maresca's gonna want to put his stamp on City. You know what I mean? Alonso's gonna want to put his stamp on Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to make their own impression of these clubs. So you don't know. Like just because City have been dominant for the last fucking decade or so, now it's the unknown. No one can plan for what happens now. Maresca's already been fucking let go from fucking Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's already proven in the league he might not be the best guy. Okay, he's been at City before. He's been fucking back up to Pep there and knows the fucking players. But let's be real. How many of the players are fucking still there that he works with now?
Who's
You
who,
know what I
who's
mean?
that? Who's that?
Maresca, when he had time at City, innit? In the
I
fucking
can't
back
remember. I
room.
can't remember who was actually there when he. I mean, Neto's still there. Obviously, Enzo's still there. Caicedo,
No, no, no,
Palmer.
no, 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 no. I'm saying fucking Maresca's time in the back room at City, innit?
Oh, the back room.
Yeah, when he was at City, what
Mm.
players were there that are still there now?
Oh, okay.
Before he went to
You're
Chelsea,
probably only looking at really.
a handful at best.
Yeah, but, I mean, was
So how
probably
well does he
Haaland.
know the club? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He's not really in a strong position where it's like, oh no, he knows all these players. No, Bear of the man have fucked off. A
Mm,
lot of their first team now wouldn't have been there when he was fucking even around.
yeah.
So for me, like even Maresca, like going back to City isn't back to City. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
everyone's like an unknown. So why wouldn't you commit to your new manager considering, yo, look at what he's just done. One game a week, look what he was able to do. You're gonna give him the fucking keys, you're gonna give him the fucking contract, let him do his thing. Okay, cool. At least fucking back him properly because when you're seeing what other clubs are doing and what other clubs are spending, they're all saying to their new managers, there's the checkbook, bring in who you need. Or them man have come and said, we need X, Y, and Z, and getting given X, Y, and Z. If you go to your fucking board and say, we need X, Y, and Z, and they come back and say, well, we've got G, we've got F, and we've got a C there, they any good? Bro, they're nowhere near what I asked for, but I'll fucking take it if I have to. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
yeah.
obviously, I don't want to jump on the whole Carrick's not being backed, but like realistically, I feel like Carrick needs to grow some bollocks and fucking. I know he's come out and said he's expecting more players and he's expecting more business and stuff, but he actually
But
needs to
in a
fucking.
sense, though, yeah, it's difficult because we don't actually know who Carrick wants because and Carrick's never going to reveal that anyway. So for all we know, yeah, Carrick could have said to the board, you know what? There was other players that were put forward, but I want Santos, Tillemans, and Beleba. We don't know that. You know what I'm trying to say?
I hear it, but I personally like I can see the I think the Tielemans one's legit. Like he's told fucking Lamens, like I feel like he wanted to go to
Yeah,
United
go and
and
have a
he saw
word.
the
Yeah,
opportunity. Told
yeah,
Lamens and Lamens has come back and let him know, and it's one of them like 35
mm,
mil. How can we not do that deal? It's
yeah.
fantastic business. So yeah, but that I feel like that made a lot of shit change and a lot of shit pivoted off the back of that. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because
You know what?
I
You know
feel
what
like
though? Yeah.
maybe
You know
Santos
what?
was first choice and Edison
Mm.
was going to be like second or third choice, but he was the cheaper option. But because we saved money on the Tielemans deal, now we can get you Santos instead. You get me?
Mm.
So it might have just been. I feel like Tielemans is very much an opportunistic one. I don't think that was planned. I don't think Carrick even
Yeah,
had him on the list.
I don't think it was either. I think that was something that became available because to get a player that's one of the best midfielders in the league for that low price, yeah.
Mm.
That and again that's yeah, that's either Lamens talking to him or United just doing their homework because it don't make sense, in it really, to get him for
Yeah,
that
but,
amount, you know.
but
But
that's the thing though. Even
yeah,
the Tielemans, like if you look at his age, you look at all the ages of players that we brought in. Like they was talking about, they don't want anyone over the age of what 26, I think it was that they said.
yeah,
Yeah, bro, he's older than that, but it's literally we'll make the allowance because it's such a bargain. And I feel like because that was a bargain, maybe that's why they've got rid of the Edison deal and said, right, well, we'll spend the extra on Santos now for you, innit? So maybe he
Yeah.
did get his first choice there, but I don't think Baleba was his first choice. Otherwise, we'd have wrapped that up as soon as the season finished. If Carrick came in and said, I want Baleba fucking
Yeah.
as first choice of any of them options, I feel like that would have been wrapped up immediately. Because we had fucking from January onwards to wrap it up.
But the thing is,
You know
though,
what I
check
mean?
this out, though. Yeah, check this out. Again, I think it's unlikely, but imagine if Man United, yeah, got it down to the last couple of days of the window, knowing that a lot of teams are going to be under pressure to accept certain bids in it because they might not get
Yeah.
them bids again, or they might need to sell players to offset other things for them to go and sign. Yeah, imagine if Man United now went into the window and got two top targets for relatively less than what a lot of the other clubs have been spending. Again, you look at that and say, do you know what? They've played the patient game and they've actually got it, and they've actually got the players they wanted over the line. So I'm looking at Camavinga. I'm looking at Lewis Hall's an unlikely one, isn't it? But I'm thinking because I'm hearing Iliman Ndiaye now is going to Man City for 80 million. Remember, he was being quoted like 100 mil, but Grealish might go the other way. So I just got a feeling because of this last couple of days, you never know. United could have something because United are doing their work in the background, and I think these last couple of days is going to be mad because I can just see a lot of teams just panicking, putting in mad bids, and these clubs saying we might not get them offers again, and then that's going to offset something. And I just wonder if Man United have got players that they've looked at for time, that they've planned it in a way to take it down to the last couple of days, knowing that these clubs might be pressured into accepting certain bids, isn't it? That it could have been a plan. You never know. I mean, it's unlikely, but you never know, innit?
I hear it, but that's the thing for me. Like, if your plan is, I'm gonna wait till late in the season and hit them with bids where they feel like they're gonna have to accept. It's almost you go the other way. Like it's not like you're gonna get it for much cheaper. Like look at NJ was getting quoted 100 mil. What they've saved 20 mil, but they've had to probably agree that we're gonna do Grealish at cheaper than what we'd actually value at other clubs. So they probably got Grealish for like fucking 10 mil cheaper than what they'd sell him to fucking. I heard fucking who was it? I think it was Sunderland was coming in for Grealish as well, innit?
Yeah, but he said his preference will be if he does leave City, will be to go back to Everton. But again, there's been talk about Aston Villa taking him back. But you know, Aston Villa have they've put a bid in for Rafael Leao.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So they've wrapped up the Nicholas Jackson one, and they're looking at Christian Kafani, who was actually linked to Man United at Bayer Leverkusen, and they're putting a bid for Leao. But Galatasaray have put a bid in for him as well, which has been accepted. So
that's the thing.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. Put it that way. But I definitely do think, there is something in this Camavinga. I don't know why. Something's telling me that United, because United have been tracking him for time, innit? And again, this is the best opportunity for them to get him because Real Madrid want to sell him. They do. They're not. I don't think they're making any more signings, but they'll be happy to get money for him, in my opinion. But it's just him. Because if he said, look, I want to leave, or it's time to move on, Man United, for me, I believe they would have already had this deal wrapped, because I don't believe United would afford him going elsewhere, because he's been a long-term target. So, but it's just Camavinga wants to fight for his place, but it's quite clear he ain't going to be getting the game time, So I think it's one to watch, man. And again, if Man United put a bid in for Camavinga, and he turns around and says, "I'm not leaving," I'll be like, do you know what? Fair enough. At least United made an attempt. You know what I'm trying to say? So, it's just one of them things for me,
At the minute, though, the last few windows, if you notice, it's not one of them where we put bids in and they just get rejected. Like, normally, like, if we're going to put a bid in, it's because we've got shit already worked out. It's like we've got to agree a fee agreed. And
Yeah.
fucking normally we've even got an agreement with the player as well that they actually want to join. Because there's no point in us getting a bid accepted and the player turning us down. It's almost embarrassing, isn't it? So
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that. But I will just like United, because if Camavinga turns around and says, look, he doesn't want to leave, I don't look at that as embarrassing, because it's Real Madrid. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
And, you know, Man United won't be the first, won't be the last. I mean, look at what Vinicius Jr. just done to Arsenal. Arsenal thought they could sign him, and he's just played them along, got a new contract. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but I would just like to see United make an attempt. And if he just says, look, I want to fight for my place and doesn't want to move, I'll be like, cool. But at least it's showing that they're going for the right players. Because I'll be honest with you, yeah, he's a player for me, Camavinga, that he's been written off by a lot of fans. But this is a guy for me that, as I said, I've watched his whole career when he made his debut, and he's destined to be one of the best players in the world. And yeah, he's been injured, you know, loss of form, etc. But the fact that he's available for what he's available for, it's an opportunity not to be missed. Because I guarantee you this year, if he does leave Real Madrid and Man United don't sign him, best believe he's either going to go to PSG, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern Munich. Those one of them clubs. Will be his next club if it's not United. I promise you, because a player like him, yeah, put the injuries to the side because he's fit now. You don't get players of that level that is only 23. You know, central midfield, can play left back. You don't get players that level for that cheap. That's my point, because he should be really an 80 to a 100 million pound player easily. If Elliot Anderson's 116, Camavinga, if he's injury free, he's a 130 million pound player easy, because he's better than Elliot Anderson. So that's my point, and he's gonna be going for 40 mil because Real Madrid just wanna move him on, isn't it? So let's wait and see, man. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that United do a madness, you know. So, but yeah, I think the Maatsen one, that's a decent one, to be fair. Because I think, do I see Maatsen going? Well, they brought in Ruggeri, and I think if Villa let him go as well, I think, yeah, that'd be that. Well, I mean, Villa have lost Watkins, Tillemans, Rodgers, Konsa, Martinez, Dina, and then they're gonna lose Maatsen as well. 7 players.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I don't know.
At this point, like the players that are left, like that's why Watkins wanted to get out as quick as he could. You know what I mean? If you can see the writing on the wall, why not?
Yeah, I hear it. All right, well, let's move on before we wrap it up anyway. I know you've seen the Champions League draw, yeah? So I'm gonna go through all the English teams, their fixtures, and then we'll go for United's one. And then I want you to tell me, you know, how you see us getting on in them games. So let's start off with Aston Villa, yeah? They've got PSG at home, Barcelona away, Borussia Dortmund at home, Club Brugge away, Fenerbahce at home, Galatasaray away, Viking at home, and then Slavia Prague away. And I think Villa, to be fair, they've possibly got one of the hardest starts, PSG and Barca, you know. Again, they are looking at signing players, man. So if they get Leao and they get Jackson's over the line and they bring in a couple of others, you'd have to say that's decent to replace what they've lost, because Nicholas Jackson offers a similar threat to Ollie Watkins. You know, Watkins probably might score more goals, but he's going to be a similar threat in terms of running in behind. And then if they get Rafael Leao, Leao's literally a direct swap with Morgan Rodgers. Both are ball carriers, you know. Both of them have power, and with Leao's got ridiculous pace. So if they get that over the line, that's good business for me. Let's move it on to City. So City have got PSG at home, Barca away, Sporting Lisbon at home, Porto away, Napoli at home, Red Bull Leipzig away, AEK Athens at home, and Lens away. And I think, again, PSG and Barca, and these are some of the games you want to watch, to be fair. And this is why the new format of the Champions League, is interesting, because to think that you're going to see the likes of City playing the PSGs and Barca's, it is good. You know what I mean? These are the kind of games you want to see. Although that these games you can possibly say are quarterfinals, semi-finals, maybe even a final. But yeah, they got a tough start there. Arsenal, Real Madrid at home, Bayern Munich away, Borussia Dortmund at home, Betis away, Lille at home, Napoli away, Slavia Prague at home, and then Viking away. And I think the first two games they've got are going to be difficult for them. And again, a lot of it's going to depend on with Arsenal, how they get on the league. Are they going to rest players for certain games whatsoever? But you'd have to say the first three games they've got, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Dortmund, is going to be a test for them. And then it gets, you would say, slightly more easier. But then again, form comes into it, injuries, etc. But the Real Madrid and Bayern Munich games obviously are the standout ones. And I think the Bayern away one, that's I'm looking forward to watching that game, to be fair. And then Liverpool have got Atletico Madrid at home, Inter Milan away, Porto at home, Club Brugge away, Villarreal at home, Fenerbahce away, Lens at home, and then Las Linz away. I believe didn't Las Linz, did they? I think they might have beat Celtic, if I remember, in the Champions League. And again, Scottish football's in the mud, man, because Rangers, Motherwell, all them teams are out. Celtic got beat the other night, I think, as well. So yeah, man, Scottish football's well and truly struggling out there, man. I think Hearts, they're out as well. So yeah, man, they're struggling. But again, with Liverpool, I look at the group so far. I think Liverpool have probably got the easiest group of fixtures, I would say. Because Atletico Madrid at home, that'll be a good game. But Liverpool at home, you never know what kind of state they're in. Does Julian Alvarez stay at Atletico Madrid as well? He's their best player. Does he stay there? Inter away won't be easy, at San Siro. And in the other fixtures, you probably expect them to pick up points there. So they've got an easy fixture. Should I say. And then United, we've definitely got a difficult start. Bayern Munich at home, Atletico Madrid away, Roma at home, Sporting Lisbon away, Red Bull Leipzig at home, Villarreal away, Sabah. I think they're from Azerbaijan, and then Como, says Fabregas is Como. So again, I think taking away the Bayern game, I think the Atletico Madrid game away will be difficult as well. I expect us to, all them games there, Roma, Sporting Lisbon, Leipzig, Villarreal, Sabah, and Como, I'll be very surprised if we don't pick up maximum points or just points in any of them games. The only games I'm looking at is the first two that will give us a bit of trouble, which is obviously Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid. But I think them other games there, I don't see no reason why we can't definitely pick up points there, man. So, but yeah, what do you think anyway? What do you think?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, fucking Villa. I think Villa's got the worst run of games there. Villa's gonna struggle the most, especially with what's happened to the squad. But
the thing is though, yeah, I don't think Villa have got too much of a difference really in comparison. Because if you look at United, yeah, United have got Bayern, Atletico, Villa have got PSG, Barca, and then Dortmund. If you want to put them in there, yeah. City have got PSG, Barca. Arsenal have got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Dortmund. Liverpool have got Atletico Madrid and Inter. So if you're asking me, really, the toughest start of fixtures, I'm probably leaning more. For me, it's either Arsenal or Aston Villa, because they both got Dortmund in there as well. And I think Arsenal have got Dortmund. We've got Dortmund at home, and so have Villa. So I think they've got the toughest set of fixtures at first.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For me, Villa's got the worst one, and that's what I'm saying, especially with what's happened with them with their squad. Now they had the same squad that they finished the season with and just built on it. Like, yeah, maybe that wouldn't be the same comment in it, but
Yeah.
as it stands right now, looking at their squad, how bare it looks, like, bro, it's fucked. It's fucked for them. Like, that's not a nice one of games to have when you've got.
They brought in Leon Goretzka today, innit? On a free.
Yeah, but again, if they'd have had this window and not lost all
Any
them
players.
players,
Yeah.
okay, you had, you know what I mean, different convo in it, but when you've lost literally like what 8 of your starting 11, it's not even the same team anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's true. I look at their replacements though. Yeah, they wanted to get that Joel Dornes from Club Brugge. He's going to Crystal Palace. They've got Wan-Bissaka in, which I think the Wan-Bissaka one is actually a good signing for Aston Villa. I think it's a very good signing for them. And then they've got in Ruggeri from Atletico Madrid, João Gomez, Leon Goretzka, Nicholas Jackson's coming in there now. If they get Leao over the line as well. They brought in that Johan Manzambi as well from Freiburg, Swiss guy. And I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that might be it. But yeah, I think the one for me, yeah, which is a big one for them to lose is Ezri Konsa. I think the Tillemans one, he had a release clause, which you can't really do much about. They got big money for Morgan Rogers. But what actually makes me laugh, yeah, is that Chelsea technically have got the Morgan Rogers money back. If you think about it, because they've sold Nicholas Jackson for 65 mil and Garnacho for 40 mil. That's the Rogers money back there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it's crazy. But I think the Ezri Konsa one for me, it strengthens Arsenal's backline. But it doesn't make sense on Aston Villa's part. Because I think if Aston Villa, as I said before, if they would have sold him for like 80 mil, you'd have been like, ambition for me would be to keep him if they could, but they've got 80 mil for him. To lose him for 51 million is poor because he was your best defender. And it just doesn't make sense to me, really, to lose him. But yeah, man, they got battered by Brighton 4-0. It should have been more as well. So I don't know how they're gonna come back from that. But yeah, man, one thing I'll say, they're gonna be up against it, but they are making efforts to kind of rectify it. And I think there's one thing you cannot. Oh yeah, they signed Zion Suzuki as well, the keeper, another one.
Yeah.
But I think one thing you cannot do is rule out Unai Emery, because Unai Emery, you know, he's had worse players. And if he gets his Aston Villa team playing in the way, you know, they could surprise some teams. You know, they got Arsenal on next Monday. Again, man, it's gonna be interesting. It's against City playing tomorrow as well. So against Palace. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting for the Champions League, man. But who's your prediction? Who's your winners at the Champions League?
It's hard to see past PSG, innit?
Yeah.
It's fucking. But I won't be surprised. Jose's got a knack for that. You know what I mean? Obviously, I know over the last couple of years he's not, but that's because I look at the teams he's been at.
Yeah.
Now he's back at a big club that's ambitions are that trophy specifically. Yeah, man. And you
think Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think Real Madrid. If it's not PSG, Real Madrid, innit? But because I feel like PSG is almost the easy answer to give, innit? It's a safe answer.
Yeah.
You know? So
what the thing is, yeah, you know what I'm looking at though, yeah. If you look at all the favorites, yeah, PSG, have they improved or have they regressed from their actual team? Because I look at their team, yeah, they've brought in Lucas Digne at left back, but we know that Digne is going to be back up to Nuno Mendes. So the first team hasn't really been improved because you can't get really an upgrade on Nuno Mendes, really. Then you look at midfield. They haven't brought no one in the midfield. The attack, they lost Gonzalo Ramos. Bradley Barcola's going, but they've brought in Ferran Torres and they brought in Michael Götze, who looks good from Ajax, and they brought, what's his name? Magnus Akliush. Yeah. So I would say them losing Barcola and Gonzalo Ramos and bringing in Akliush, Michael Götze, and Ferran Torres, I'd probably say they've improved. Again, Michael Götze is, I want to say he's still unproven at the highest level, obviously playing for PSG. And Akliush obviously was at Monaco. But I want to say that Ferran Torres does get goals, but is he an upgrade on Barcola and Ramos in what they've lost? I think it probably keeps them at the same level. So for me, I just think PSG are at the same level. I don't think they've improved or regressed, really. Then you look at Barcelona. They've lost Lewandowski, yeah? Rashford's obviously come back to United. Ronaldo Araujo's gone to Liverpool. They've brought in Rodri. They've brought in Anthony Gordon. And who's the other one they brought in? Was there someone else they brought in as well? Rodri. Oh, Cancelo. Well, Cancelo was there last season, but he's come back. I would say Barca have improved purely because they've brought in, they brought in Karim Adeyemi as well. That's the one. So they brought in two players with pace, which is what they were lacking. Two players that will be good on the counter. And then they brought in Rodri, who's arguably the best six in the world. So you'd have to say, just them bringing in Rodri, they've lost Araujo as well, but they'll feel that they got cover for centre-back. They've improved because of Rodri coming in. Yeah? But they still need that striker, you would say. Real Madrid what have they done? They've brought in Denzel Dumfries, Mark Cucurella. So they've improved their fullback options. But they've brought in Yan Diamande, who I think is terrible. And he cost about 120 mil or something. And he's shit. He's just a pace merchant. And I can't stand these players, yeah? So again, I look at Real Madrid and I think, have they really improved from last season? I'll say they've improved defensively because Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the world. And Denzel Dumfries, to be fair, is a very good right back as well. So, and I think that's all they've brought in so far. But you would say they've slightly improved. But I think Barca bringing in Rodri, they're bringing in someone that's the best in the world in his position. Yeah. I look at Arsenal. They've brought in Bruno Guimaraes, to be fair, who improves their midfield. So and he's a starter. And if Declan Rice needs a rest, then you can play him instead of Declan Rice. So you probably say they've improved their midfield. They've definitely improved at the back as well, because now that Saliba's injured, you've got an Ezri Konsa, who can come in and fill that void as well. In attack, Zolis is decent. Is there much difference between Zolis and Trossard? Not really. I think Zolis just might be more direct. Have they? So I would say Arsenal have improved slightly because of the signings of Bruno Guimaraes and Konsa improves them really, because they're two guys that can go into their starting lineup. So it does improve them. City have definitely dropped off. They've lost, not only have they lost Pep, they've lost Rodri, they've lost the experience as well. Obviously, John Stones wasn't playing as much, but they've lost Bernardo Silva's experience. Who else is there? And then what they've replaced it with is Anderson, who's still unproven at the highest level. Buadi's 18. Who else? They've only brought in Buadi and Anderson, haven't they? Is someone else they brought in? So you would say City. I don't think City have improved, because I think Buadi's going to be good, but can Buadi and Anderson?
They've drastically declined, bro. Look at
they've declined. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they've declined.
Drastically declined.
Yeah, they've declined, exactly. So, and again, look at Bayern Munich here. Bayern Munich I think they've brought in Well, to be fair, Bayern have brought in 2 players. They brought in Nathaniel Brown, and they've brought in what's his face? The Moroccan guy. I forgot his name. Yeah. But again, those two are not. I wouldn't say they're 2 starters for them, because I mean Nathaniel Brown could start left back, but then does he start ahead of Alphonso Davies if he's fit? Maybe. And then the other guy, I forgot his name. Probably doesn't start in their best lineup. So you would say they've improved the squad, but not the first team. So again, what I'm looking at, yeah, with those teams that are probably going to be tasked as being the favorites, I don't really see drastic changes in any of them teams that have just indefinitely improved. I think, but PSG has said stayed at the same level. Barca have improved with Rodri. Real Madrid have improved their defense, but I don't necessarily think they've improved their attack. Bayern have just bought squad for the squad. Arsenal have improved, to be fair, their defense and their midfield, with obviously their best team. Konsa might be on the bench, but Bruno Guimaraes you'd probably say starts. But then you're looking at Lewis Skelly, and Lewis Skelly's proving that he should be starting as well. So again, there's not really much to take from it, really, from them teams that you would say has definitely, improved in my sense. What do you think?
No, to be fair, Arsenal, personally, probably the only team that's strengthened out, other than fucking definitely out of the top 4 anyway, top 5 even. You know what I mean? But like I say, Tottenham have strengthened well. Fucking Chelsea have strengthened well, but both of them being totally out of Europe, it's going to help them massively overall, isn't it? But when we're talking about teams just playing in Champions League,
Yeah.
we've not done enough. Losing Casemiro's a massive, massive loss, and I still feel like the 3 players we brought in is a good start, but it's not going to be enough. If you're going to lose,
Where can you see us get into in the Champions League?
well, I've actually said as long as we qualify for the knockouts, and then from there it's like, look, we're not trying, we're not, you know what I mean? If we do go through, it's because the B team's able to fucking pull it off, you know what I mean? But we're not sacrificing, because by the time them knockout stages come, we're talking February onwards. That's where the season's serious, and if we're serious about staying in top 4 and trying to actually make a go of it, we cannot focus on Champions League. We're nowhere near the quality to actually win it. So we have to be aware of that enough to say, right, we'll qualify just for that extra money. That's it. But like, not doing that at a detriment of like sacrificing league games to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see the strongest 11 on a weekend. I don't want to see the strongest 11 midweek at any point, unless it's a fucking Monday fucking Premier League game or whatever. But Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't want to see no first team players in that team. It's not a priority. It shouldn't be. Cup games should all be kids.
Yeah. I think what the positive is, though, I think the fact that we've got Bayern Munich and Atletico in the first 2 games is good to see where United are, because come them games, you're gonna think like if we get spanked by let's say by Bayern Munich, you kind of know the levels, in it, But if we go to Bayern Munich and it's like we get beat by the odd goal, you can take confidence from that and say, you know what, we're onto something. We're not really that far away. Because there's no doubt in that Bayern are one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah,
so I think it's good that we're playing them in the first game, personally,
But for me, that's only to an extent, because, like, for example, fucking Bayern Munich group stage, it's not that deep. Like, bro, when Arsenal fans were trying to gas it about finishing top of the group, the whole world let them know, bro, it's not that deep. Group stage, like, as long as man are qualifying, they're pretty cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, the bigger clubs aren't asked about how much extra money they get for finishing fucking second instead of fourth. If they've got an important league game, they're prioritising that because the group stage, as long as we qualify and we finish in that top half of the table, we're good. I honestly don't think us playing Bayern, especially that early as well, because it's like, what, the first game, isn't it?
It's the first game, yeah. We've got Bayern
Yeah.
and then Atletico Madrid away.
But that's what I'm saying. So Bayern's got how many games after they play us to make up for anything? They don't have to put out a strong team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they put out their absolute top team and they're firing on all cylinders, it's like, fair enough, then yeah. If we get that kind of result, whatever, then yeah. But I honestly can't see them even putting out a full strength team. First game of the fucking Champions League. I know they intend on qualifying. It's not even a hesitation. They don't have to fucking try first game because they're gonna have enough points that they're gonna make up where they qualify no matter what. You know what I mean?
Big up to Darren Less, man. Big up yourself, my guy. Big up, man. Yeah, listen, guys, we're gonna wrap it up in a bit anyway. But big up to yourselves. Make sure you smash that like button as well. But yeah, listen, yeah, it makes, yeah, I think, yeah, Bayern could change their team up, but you never know. Bayern could put a strong team out to make a statement as well, to let everyone know that, you know, they're the team to beat this year. But I think, yeah, PSG have got a settled team as well. And I think the fact that they can keep the bulk of their team together, because we kind of know what PSG are going to do. Like, PSG are going to go with the same back four of Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves. And they've got Zaire Emery in there as well. And some of the other youngsters. And then Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and Doué. So we know what they're going to do. So, yeah, they just added to their squad, really. So I think they got the most settled team, you know. So yeah, man, I just think, but yeah, when I'm looking at all the teams I've mentioned, the only two teams really, well, I'll say 3 teams is in the best teams. You've got Rodri in Barca's best team. You've got Bruno Guimaraes, you'd have to say, in Arsenal's best team. And then you've got Cucurella and Denzel Dumfries in Real Madrid's best teams. And all the other teams, I think, it's players that have just been added to the squad, isn't it? But as we know with PSG, they like to rest a lot of their players. So imagine this year, what they've done with Dembele, they could do the same thing with Nuno Mendes. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I hear it.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. But listen, let's see what United can do in it. Hopefully United can make a good account of themselves, man, and just hope that we can still, yeah, I mean, what, we got Tuesday until the window shuts. So by the time we're back on next Thursday, yeah, listen, we're gonna have things to talk about, man, to see what they've done. But like, I'll be honest, and I'll say it right here, yeah. If Man United don't make another signing, you know, I'm gonna come out and say, listen, I've backed Ineos, but I think they've been a disgrace, man, for what they've done. I'll genuinely say that, because even though I'm happy with the 3 signings, I think I've always said five max, and obviously we're still too short. I'm not counting Carl Darlow, I'm just bantering, innit? You know. Yeah. But if they don't go and make another 2 signings, or if they make one more signing, it's someone that you can say, yeah, they mean business, yeah, I'll be like, cool. But if they don't do that, bro, like, I'll be the first to say, yeah, it's not good enough. You know what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. But I've always been, you know, Ineos have surprised, and they have got things done. So that's the only thing I'm banking on at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see, man. But yeah, guys, big up for coming through each and every time. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel as well if you're new. And make sure you follow Fitz on his socials as well, which is in the description. And yeah, guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. So I've got a different show on tomorrow. So it's basically, I'll be talking to someone that I've been speaking to over the last couple of days. And he's actually a head of a agency company, head of talent ID. And he's just going to give an insight into, you know, players' mental health in football clubs. And as I said, like, I've got a good grasp on these kind of things as well from, you know, even things that I've experienced, you know. So yeah, I've got him coming on tomorrow at 8 p.m. So yeah, if that's something that you guys, you know, feel might be of interest, then yeah, listen, make sure you're there tomorrow. And yeah, it should be a good one because I want to ask him a couple of things, you know, and I'm pretty sure he's got a couple of questions for me as well. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow at 8 p.m. And then we are going to do our all-time 11 the following Saturday. So it'll be Manchester United. I've got my list done already, and yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting, put it that way, because I think me and Fitz are probably going to go, you know, pretty similar, you know, bar probably one or two positions, but
the only thing is that gets me is because with the United one, we did 2008 onwards in it. So this one's 95 to 07. So there's there's a few conversations to be had on a few positions, but
yeah, there is. But I think we're more or less gonna go like for like, but there might be one. I think there's one or two that we're not that I think we won't agree on.
100%.
But yeah, that's guys. That's gonna be on the 5th, so that'll be next Saturday, and obviously it's Bank Holiday Monday, so we normally have our stream at 5 o'clock. But I got to check with Jonas to see because I don't know if he's got something on. So if that means we might have to, you know, schedule that for another day, fit that in another day or something, then we'll sort that out. But at the moment, that'll be at 5 o'clock. But if not, yeah, as I say, I'll just keep an eye on the notifications to see when we're live anyway. But yeah, Fitz, anything to plug, bro?
If anything, just go back and check the playlist of all time 11s in it.
Yeah.
Now we're cycling back through, so all the teams that we've already got done, we're going back through and doing the next half of the all-time 11s in it. So now it's 95 to whatever year we started from with the current ones in it. So
yeah, exactly.
Italy and Spain, I think they started like from 2005 to present. So they'll be like 95 to 04. And the early ones, the Premier League clubs, obviously, they all have different kind of start points. So you'd have to go back and check them. But there's nowhere what the eras are and whatnot. But yeah, well, make sure you put them out.
Yeah, big up, man. Yeah, guys, as I said, yeah, as Fitz says. So make sure you check out the playlist because all the all-time 11s are in there, and there's a lot in there. So and again, it's a series that we enjoy doing. So yeah, within the 95s now. Just remembering some of the bad boy players, man. And then yeah, we got to try and fit them into an all-time team, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, make sure you check that out in the playlist. And as I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. and then I'll be back Monday with Fitz and Jonas for the Northwest Divide. But as I said, if we got to change the time or day, then yeah, just keep an eye out for that. And again, guys, we got the watch-alongs going to be sorting out as well. So becoming bigger and better back soon. So yeah, we just got to sort a couple of things out. So the next watch along, I'll let you guys know when that's gonna be. You know, it's gonna be all different. Like obviously mainly Man United, but again it will be different teams as well. So yeah, so just got to sort that out. But yeah, keep an eye on that for as well. And guys, make sure you get your votes in tomorrow for the Premier League predictions. So remember, every Friday before 12 o'clock, I put mine in already. You know, City are playing Palace tomorrow. So, yeah, try and get that in before 12 o'clock if you want to be a part of it. I'm bottom at the moment, but not for long. Just telling you that. Fitz is top, not for long.
Well, technically, you're actually not bottom just for the simple fact my son joined the prediction league. Innit?
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So, obviously, my son's bottom of the league just because he's only just joined in it. So, on a technicality, I'm not bottom anymore, which breaks my heart.
Listen, don't worry, man. The cream always rises to the top. I'm gonna come to the top very soon.
It won't take him long to surpass you, bro. You'll be there.
To be fair, it was a bad week, man. I can't even lie, man. I think I got like one result.
Bro, ridiculous. You know what though?
Yeah.
One sec. I'm just gonna
Go
put
on.
the link now in the
Yeah.
chat for anyone that wants to join in it for the Premier League thing.
Yeah, guys, if you're still in the chat, yeah, then as I said, if you want to join the Premier League prediction, then Fitz has just put that into the chat now. So yeah, if you just click onto the link, then it takes you on to you know, you got to enter your details, etc., and just put whatever prediction you guys think. So as I said, City are playing Palace tomorrow. I think I've said 3-1 City. So yeah, make sure you get your predictions in by 12 o'clock tomorrow. And then again, yeah, got the games coming up. Obviously, United playing Sunday against Ipswich. I want to try and catch that. I might be busy, but I'm going to try and catch that somewhere. But listen, we need 3 points, man. It's as simple as that. After that debacle against Hull. But I said I'm more interested to see what Carrick lines up with. You know, that's what I'm looking at. I want to see his lineup to see if he's learned, because if he plays that same lineup, yeah, I can't even lie, man. He will lose a bit of me. I can't even lie if he plays that same lineup. But I don't think he does. I don't think he does, you know. But I think he changes things up. So listen, nothing less than 3 points, man. But we'll see what happens. But guys, other than that, big up to yourselves. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 8. Fitz, big up, my guy, yeah?
Yeah, man. Bless, bro.
Cool, man. Big up. Cool.